Dr. Samira Patel pressed her forehead against the observation window, watching crystalline snowflakes dance across the barren surface of Kepler 742b. 6 months into her xenobotany research mission, and the planet still took her breath away. Doctor, you might want to see this, called out Raj Kumar, her research assistant, from the equipment bay. The quantum spectrometer is picking up some bizarre readings from the northern ridge. Samira pulled herself away from the window, her boots making soft clicking sounds against the station's metallic floor. Define bizarre, Raj. These energy signatures, they're organized, like a heartbeat but in botanical form. Raj's dark eyes were wide with excitement as he gestured to the pulsing patterns on his holographic display. That's impossible, Samira muttered, leaning in to study the readings. No plant life could survive the surface temperatures here unless, she trailed off, her mind racing with possibilities. Within an hour, they were suited up and trudging through the crystalline landscape in their environmental suits. The planet's twin suns cast everything in a pale lavender light, making the ice formations look like abstract art pieces. There, Samira pointed to a formation that didn't quite match its surroundings. That ridge isn't natural. As they approached, the structure revealed itself, a doorway embedded in the rock face, covered in bioluminescent symbols that pulsed in rhythm with the energy readings on their scanners. This is definitely not in any of our survey records, Raj said, his voice tinged with both excitement and apprehension. Samira reached out to touch one of the glowing symbols. The moment her gloved hand made contact, the entire doorway blazed with light. A voice echoed in her mind, neither male nor female, but somehow both. Lifebringer detected, initiating awakening sequence. The ground beneath them trembled as the ancient door slowly opened, revealing a vast chamber filled with floating orbs of light. Each contained what appeared to be seeds, suspended in a quantum stasis field. A seed vault, Samira breathed in wonder, but whose? Ours, came a melodious voice from behind them. They spun around to face a tall, humanoid figure whose skin seemed to shimmer with bioluminescent patterns. I am Nexar, last guardian of the Quantum Gardens. We have awaited your arrival for 10,000 cycles, Lifebringer. Samira took an instinctive step back. There must be some mistake, I'm just a botanist from Earth. Nexar's patterns shifted to a gentle blue hue. There is no mistake. Your bioelectric signature matches the prophecy exactly. Only one with your specific quantum resonance can reactivate the vault and save my people. Your people, Raj asked, positioning himself protectively near Samira. The Lumini, Nexar explained, gesturing to the countless suspended seeds. We were once the guardians of life across this galaxy, but a great catastrophe forced us to enter dormancy, waiting for one who could restore the balance. Samira's scientific mind raced with questions, but before she could voice any of them, one of the seed orbs floated toward her. It pulsed with a warm, golden light that seemed to call to something deep within her. Touch it, Nexar urged softly, let it recognize you. Against all logical judgment, Samira reached out. The moment her fingers brushed the orb, it burst into a shower of light. Where it had been now floated a perfect flower unlike anything in Earth's botanical records. Its petals seemed to be made of living crystal, and it emanated a soft melody. The harmonic bloom, Nexar whispered in reverence. It responds only to the Lifebringer's touch. Now do you understand? You are the key to awakening our ancient gardens across the galaxy. Suddenly, their communicators crackled with static. Dr. Patel, it was Director Reeves from the research station. We're picking up massive energy signatures from your location. What's happening down there? Samira looked at the flower floating before her, then at Nexar's hopeful expression. In that moment, she knew her life's work had just become something far more significant than she could have imagined. Director, she responded carefully, you might want to alert the Xenobotanical Council. We've just made first contact with an advanced botanical civilization, and apparently, they've been waiting for us. The flower's melody grew stronger, its crystal petals reflecting the light of Kepler 742b's twin suns in a rainbow of colors. Samira felt something stir within her, a connection to these ancient seeds that defied scientific explanation. What happens now? She asked Nexar, her voice barely above a whisper. The Lumini Guardian's patterns shifted to a deep purple. Now, Lifebringer, you begin your true work. The galaxy's gardens await their awakening and time grows short. The question is, are you ready to accept your role in what comes next? Samira looked at Raj, who nodded encouragingly, then back at the vast chamber of dormant seeds. Each one contained potential worlds of discovery and possibly the key to saving an entire civilization. "I'm ready," she said firmly. "Show me what I need to do." As if in response, more seed orbs began to pulse with light, their collective glow filling the ancient vault with the promise of new beginnings and untold discoveries. The greatest botanical expedition in human history was about to begin, and Dr. Samira Patel stood at its heart, ready to unlock the secrets of an alien garden that spanned the stars. The crystal flower hummed softly in Samira's quarters, its melody a constant reminder of the incredible responsibility she'd inherited. 2 weeks had passed since the discovery of the seed vault, and the research station was barely recognizable. "The molecular structure is unlike anything we've documented," Raj said, studying the latest scan results. "These plants don't just photosynthesize, they seem to process quantum information." Samira nodded, her fingers tracing the bioluminescent markings that had appeared on her skin after her first contact with the harmonic bloom. They were faint, nothing like Nexar's brilliant patterns, but they pulsed in rhythm with the alien flora. "The Council's demanding more results," she sighed. "They don't understand that you can't rush this kind of integration." "The Council lacks patience," Nexar's voice drifted from the doorway. The Lumini Guardian moved with fluid grace, his patterns shifting in what Samira had learned to recognize as concern. "But the seeds sense your growing connection. Watch." He gestured to a collection of dormant seed orbs they'd brought from the vault. As Samira approached, they began to glow, responding to her presence. One floated toward her, its light pulsing hopefully. "Remember what I taught you," Nexar instructed. "Feel the quantum resonance. The seeds are alive, they want to communicate." Samira closed her eyes, focusing on the subtle vibrations she could now sense. The seed's energy patterns became clearer, like reading Braille with her mind. "This one, it's designed for atmospheric purification." "Yes," Nexar's patterns brightened with approval. "The Erali's vine. Our people used it to terraform hostile worlds, creating breathable atmospheres in a fraction of the time natural evolution would require." "Fascinating," Raj muttered, recording everything. "But why hide such beneficial technology?" Nexar's luminescence dimmed. "Because like all powerful tools, it can be misused. The Void Seekers proved that, turning our life-giving gardens into weapons. That's why we sealed the vaults, waiting for one who would understand the true purpose of our work." A sudden alert blared through the station. "Unauthorized energy signature detected in Lab 3, the AI announced." They rushed to the lab, finding one of the seed orbs had activated on its own. A plant unlike anything they'd seen was rapidly growing, its crystalline branches reaching for the ceiling. "Impossible," Nexar whispered. "The seeds shouldn't activate without the Lifebringer's touch." Samira stepped closer, her markings tingling. "Something's wrong. The growth pattern is chaotic, aggressive." Dr. Patel, Dr. Yuki Tanaka, their head of security, burst into the lab. "We've detected similar growth signatures at 3 other research stations across the galaxy, all housing samples you sent for analysis." Samira's blood ran cold. She turned to Nexar, whose patterns had shifted to a deep, worried red. "You said the vaults were part of a network." "They are," he confirmed. "When one awakens, the others resonate in harmony, but this is different. Something is forcing them awake prematurely." The crystalline plant suddenly pulsed with dark energy, its branches becoming sharp and metallic. "Get back," Samira shouted, pushing Raj toward the door. The plant's corrupted melody screeched through their minds as it attacked, its branches whipping toward them with lethal intent. Samira instinctively raised her hands, her markings blazing with light. To everyone's amazement, the plant froze, its chaotic energy contained by whatever power flowed through Samira's connection to the vault. "How did you do that?" Yuki asked, wide-eyed. "I don't know," Samira admitted, maintaining her focus. "It's like, I can feel its pain, something's interfering with its natural patterns, twisting them." Nexar moved closer, his own bioluminescence synchronizing with Samira's. "This is why the Lifebringer was prophesied. Only one who truly understands the balance between science and life can prevent the gardens from being corrupted." "But who would do this?" Raj wondered. "Who even knows enough about the vaults to attempt such manipulation?" A new alert sounded, priority transmission from the Terran Science Council. Dr. Reeves appeared on the main screen, his face grave. Dr. Patel, we're implementing Emergency Protocol 7. All seed vault research is now under direct council control. A containment team is en route to your location. Samira felt her heart sink. She recognized the look in Reeves' eyes, the same ambition that had led to countless scientific atrocities in human history. They can't be allowed to take control, Nexar said urgently. The council doesn't understand the delicate balance required. They'll doom not just my people but countless worlds. The corrupted plant pulsed again, fighting against Samira's influence. She could feel similar disturbances echoing through her connection to the Vault network, more seeds being forcibly awakened, their natural harmony disrupted. How long until the containment team arrives? She asked Yuki. 6 hours standard time. Samira looked at the small group around her. Raj's unwavering loyalty, Yuki's quiet strength, and Nexar's ancient wisdom. They were all that stood between the galaxy's most powerful botanical network and those who would abuse it. Then we have 6 hours to save the gardens, she declared. Raj, download everything we've learned about the seed patterns. Yuki will need secure transport, and Nexar. She turned to the Lumini Guardian. It's time you told me everything about these vaults. No more prophecies, no more secrets. As if responding to her determination, the harmonic bloom's melody grew stronger, its crystal petals shifting to a deep, resolute blue. The race to protect the galaxy's ancient gardens had begun, and Samira knew they couldn't afford to fail. The maintenance tunnels beneath the research station echoed with hurried footsteps as Samira and her companions made their way to the emergency shuttle bay. Above them, the containment team had arrived early, their heavy boots thundering across metal floors. The vault network is destabilizing, Nexar reported, his patterns flickering with distress. 3 more nodes have been forcibly activated in the Centauri sector. Samira felt each disruption like a thorn in her mind. Her own bioluminescent markings pulsed erratically, responding to the chaos spreading through the quantum garden network. Yuki, how much farther? She called ahead to their security chief, who was leading them through the maze of tunnels. Almost there, but we've got another problem. Yuki held up her datapad. Look who's leading the containment team. The security feed showed a familiar face, Dr. Marcus Blackwood, the council's head of advanced biotechnology. Samira's stomach churned at the sight of her former mentor. This explains everything, she muttered. Marcus has been researching forced terraforming for years. The council shut down his previous projects for being too aggressive. The perfect collaboration, Raj added bitterly. The council gets their superweapon and Blackwood gets to continue his banned research. They reached the shuttle bay, but Yuki raised her hand in warning. Guards posted. They're using quantum scanners. They'll detect Nexar's energy signature. Samira looked at the harmonic bloom still floating beside her. An idea formed. Nexar, you said the seeds communicate through quantum resonance. Could we use that to mask your presence? The Lumini Guardian's patterns shifted thoughtfully. Yes, but it would require precise synchronization. One mistake could alert every corrupted node in the network to our location. Do it, Samira decided. She touched the crystal flower, channeling her connection through it. The bloom's melody changed, creating a complex harmony that enveloped Nexar like a cloak. They moved carefully past the guards, who remained focused on their scanners. Just as they reached the shuttle, an alarm blared. Intruder alert, the station AI announced. Unauthorized biological signature detected in Vault Chamber 1. No, Nexar whispered, his disguise flickering. They're trying to access the primary seed matrix. Security feeds showed Blackwood and his team entering the vault, carrying equipment Samira recognized from his banned experiments. He's going to try forcing a mass awakening, she realized. The network can't handle that kind of sudden activation. If he succeeds, Nexar warned, the quantum disruption will cascade through all active nodes. Every awakened seed will become corrupted. Samira looked at their waiting shuttle, then back at the feed showing the vault. She knew what they had to do, even if it meant risking everything. Yuki, prep the shuttle. Raj, upload everything we have on the network to a secure quantum crystal. If anything happens to us, get it to the Xenobotanical Society on Europa. They're the only ones not under council control. Us, Raj questioned, you're not going back there. We have to, Samira's markings pulsed with determination. The vault chose me for a reason. I'm not running while Blackwood destroys everything the Lumini created. They split up, Yuki and Raj heading to the shuttle while Samira and Nexar made their way back through the tunnels. The harmonic bloom followed, its melody now a tense, urgent song. They found Blackwood in the heart of the vault, his team attaching dark, pulsing devices to the central seed matrix. The normally peaceful chamber felt wrong, the quantum harmonies distorted by whatever technology they were using. Marcus, Samira called out, stepping into view. "Stop this, you don't understand what you're dealing with." Her former mentor turned, his eyes bright with a familiar zealous gleam. "Samira, I hoped you'd come, you should be part of this. We're about to advance terraforming technology by centuries." By corrupting it, Nexar emerged beside her, his patterns blazing with controlled anger. "Your devices twist the seed's natural resonance. You'll create monsters, not gardens." The Lumini had their chance, Blackwood dismissed. They could have transformed worlds, ended resource wars, saved dying planets. Instead, they hid their technology, waiting for some prophesied savior. He gestured at Samira. "No offense, but we're done waiting." The devices pulsed darker, and Samira felt the corruption spreading through the network. Seed orbs began activating randomly, their pure light tainted with shadows. "I'm sorry, Marcus," she said softly, raising her hands. The harmonic bloom moved forward, its crystal petals spreading wide. "But you're right about one thing, the waiting is over." Light exploded from Samira's markings, connecting with the bloom in a dazzling display of quantum resonance. The flower's melody became a symphony, reaching out to every seed in the vault. "Stop her," Blackwood shouted, but his team stumbled back as waves of pure botanical energy filled the chamber. Samira felt something unlock inside her, the full power of her connection to the network. Through it, she could sense every vault, every seed, every quantum thread that bound them together. The corruption tried to fight back, but against the natural harmony of the gardens, it stood no chance. One by one, Blackwood's devices overloaded and shut down. The seed matrix stabilized, its light pure once more. But Samira wasn't finished. "The gardens were never meant to be weapons," she declared, her voice echoing with newfound authority. "They're meant to heal, to restore, to bring life where there is none, and now finally they'll fulfill that purpose." Through her connection, she sent a message to every vault in the galaxy: "Wake up, grow, but grow as you were meant to." The response was immediate and beautiful. Across countless worlds, ancient seeds began to stir, their awakening guided by the true spirit of the Lumini's vision. The age of the quantum gardens had truly begun. The quantum gardens bloomed across the galaxy, but their awakening had not gone unnoticed. A month after the confrontation with Blackwood, Samira stood in the newly grown crystal forest that surrounded the research station, sensing an approaching storm. "They're here," she announced, just as Raj's voice crackled through her communicator. "Multiple ships just dropped out of quantum space. Configuration unknown, but definitely not human or Lumini." Nexar's patterns shifted to a deep crimson. "Void seekers, they've sensed the network's awakening." Dark ships descended through Kepler 742b's lavender atmosphere, their hulls seeming to absorb light rather than reflect it. The crystal trees around them trembled, their harmonies becoming discordant. Yuki's voice joined the comm channel. "Station defenses are online, but these readings, they're using some kind of anti-quantum technology." The first ship landed, and Samira felt the garden's pain as waves of disruptive energy pulsed from its hull. A tall, shadowy figure emerged, humanoid in shape, but composed of what looked like living darkness. "Lifebringer," it spoke, its voice like rustling dead leaves. "I am Umbra, voice of the void. You have awakened what should have remained dormant." "The gardens were meant to spread life," Samira replied, standing her ground, "not be buried in darkness." "Life?" Umbra seemed to laugh. "The Lumini were fools. They never understood the true potential of quantum biology. But we did. We saw how their precious gardens could be used to consume worlds, not create them." More void seekers emerged, their presence making the crystal forest wither. Nexar stepped forward, his light blazing defiantly. "You corrupted our greatest achievement," he accused. "Turned our life-giving seeds into weapons of destruction. That's why we sealed the vaults." "And now we've returned to claim what should have been ours," Umbra declared. "The gardens will serve the void." The battle that followed was unlike anything in human or Lumini history. The Void Seekers wielded anti-quantum energy that threatened to unravel the very fabric of the gardens. But Samira, her connection to the network now fully realized, fought back with the pure force of life itself. Crystal trees became warriors, their branches wielding light against darkness. The harmonic bloom song became a battle cry, strengthening the quantum fields that protected the station and its inhabitants. But the Void Seekers were ancient and powerful. For every attack they repelled, another ship appeared in orbit. The gardens, newly awakened and vulnerable, began to falter under the assault. In the heart of the quantum storm, Samira felt the network crying out. Not just the gardens on Kepler 742b, but all of them, every seed, every bloom, every connection across the galaxy. They were being systematically attacked by Void Seeker forces. "We need to close the network," Raj suggested desperately. "Shut everything down before they can corrupt it." "No," Samira and Nexar said simultaneously. Their eyes met, understanding passing between them. The prophecy wasn't just about awakening the gardens, Samira realized. It was about completing them, making them strong enough to resist corruption forever. She raised her hands, the harmonic bloom pulsing in sync with her markings. "Yuki, get everyone inside the station. Raj, route all power to the quantum shields. Nexar, I'm going to need your help." The Lumini Guardians' patterns swirled with determination. Until the end, Lifebringer. Together, they began to glow with unprecedented brightness. Through their combined connection to the network, they reached out to every garden, every seed, every quantum thread that bound them together. Umbra sensed what they were attempting. "Stop them," he commanded. "The network cannot be allowed to fully manifest." But it was too late. Samira had found what the Lumini had always known was possible, the perfect harmony between organic life and quantum energy. Through her, the gardens began to evolve. Crystal trees transformed into towers of living light. Seeds burst into impossible flowers that existed in multiple quantum states simultaneously. The very fabric of space around them began to pulse with new forms of life. The Void Seekers' anti-quantum weapons faltered against this evolution. Their darkness could not corrupt what was constantly changing, growing, becoming more than mere biology or energy. "You cannot destroy us," Umbra raged. "We are eternal as the void itself." "We're not trying to destroy you," Samira replied, her voice echoing with the power of a million blooming gardens. "We're trying to show you what you've forgotten, that life adapts, changes, grows. Even the void can bloom." Light exploded from the network, not attacking the Void Seekers but embracing them. Where darkness had festered, quantum flowers began to grow. The ships in orbit became gardens themselves, their anti-quantum technology transformed into new forms of life. Umbra's shadowy form began to shimmer with unexpected luminescence. What is happening?" "The gardens are doing what they were always meant to do," Nexar explained, his patterns shining with joy. "They're bringing balance, light and dark, growth and rest, life finding a way to thrive even in the void." The transformation spread across the galaxy. Wherever the Void Seekers had attacked, the gardens responded not with destruction but with integration. New forms of quantum life emerged, neither purely light nor purely dark, but something gloriously in between. As the storm subsided, Samira looked at what they had created. The research station now stood in a forest that defied conventional physics, where crystalline trees grew alongside shadow blooms, and flowers sang songs of both light and darkness. "It's beautiful," Raj whispered, emerging from the station. "It's just the beginning," Samira replied, watching the harmonic bloom dance among its new quantum siblings. "The gardens will keep growing, keep evolving, and this time nobody will be able to corrupt them." Yuki joined them, staring in wonder at the transformed landscape. "So what happens now?" Samira looked at Nexar, whose patterns had settled into a peaceful rhythm. "Now we learn, we grow, we explore what's possible when we stop trying to control life and start working with it instead." Together, Nexar added, his light harmonizing with the quantum gardens around them. Above them, the twin suns of Kepler 742b painted the crystal forest in shades of lavender and gold. The galaxy's greatest garden had finally bloomed, and its caretakers, human, Lumini, and even reformed Void Seeker, stood ready to help it flourish. In the end, that was what the prophecy had truly been about, not just awakening the gardens, but growing something entirely new. Something that would continue to evolve, to surprise, and to remind everyone who encountered it that in the endless expanse of space, life would always find a way to bloom.